Hi, welcome back to Cook Along Live. This is our last session before the summer break, and today we're going to make some beef tacos. So to start off with, as always, we're going to prep our veg. So you should have an onion, 2 peppers. If you've got garlic, you're going to cut up your garlic. And we're going to leave the salsa just for now, because when the mince is cooking, and the tacos are kind of the taco meat mix is cooking, then we can start looking at our salsa. But so that's why we've got our coriander, our lime, our tomatoes, and our spring onion, just waiting there. Okay, so to start off with, obviously knife in hand, and we're going to start chopping up our veg. So, like always, just safely cutting around our pepper, making sure we don't get any of the seeds. If we do get the seeds, it's not an issue really. You can just scrape them into the bin off the flesh of the pepper. So just kind of get it off the peppers. Now, what we want to do with this is we kind of want to just dice it. Both peppers are getting diced. Diced is basically just a fancy word of making them in cubes or small cubes. If you're cooking it for kids, I would say smaller the cubes the better. They can't see it. Along with our onion, which is also getting diced. So just again go round. Cook Along has been made possible from funding from Cash for Kids and from the National Lottery, so a big shout out to you guys for helping us out. We have had a great time doing our Cook Along live sessions before the summer holiday, in January and obviously this time around. And we look forward to coming back in, I think September is our next Cook Along kind of block, and it's for 6 weeks. We also have at the Penny Pit cooking classes that are operational just now and that are running. So if you check our website, you can be able to contact David and get yourself booked into some of our on-site face-to-face sessions. So even though we've obviously cut up the pepper, but we've not diced it yet, you're just going to peel your onions. I would say similarly on the support we've got obviously at the Penny Pit, we also have our lunch club programme and our holiday programmes about to get released to kind of show what we're up to over the summer holidays. So just keep an eye out again on our socials and our website. If you've got any issues, just contact us and we will be more than happy to direct you into what support is out there. So what you're going to do now is you're just dicing up your onion and your pepper. Okay. The smaller the dice, obviously, the less likely your kids are going to see the veg. Although I think most kids understand that there is veg in kind of these dishes. You might hear the oven on. I would just preheat your oven just now for your taco shells. Alternatively, you can just use an air fryer and kind of cook or heat up your taco shells in that as well. Like we would always kind of say with these recipes is just follow the packet instructions on how to kind of cook your shells. What we're going to do is we're going to put that in the food waste, and then that's our diced onions done. Going on to our peppers. Again, it's kind of just long ways and then short ways. You're wanting it as kind of uniform as you can, although this has turned out not to be uniform at all for me. So we just keep doing it. On top of obviously the stuff that we do for our kids, we also have a befriending project that has kind of lunch clubs that run over the week, and support for our most socially isolated in our communities. So again, if you want information on that, our website is the best place to go to kind of see what the work we do at the Penny Pit kind of and what we get up to. I mean, our social media also has quite a bit on there about what's kind of next and what's in the coming weeks and months, and what's on. So we will just chop up these. I'm just going to put my phone on silent, just so we don't have any more notifications. So that's your red pepper. And then you're just chopping up again your green pepper. I quite like it chunky just because then it kind of beefs up your tacos. No pun intended there. But again, like I said, if you've got kids, you probably more kind of want it to be small. You might think this looks like quite a bit of veg that's going in, and it is, but again, it's going to make quite a bit of tacos, and the onions kind of just wilt down to nothing when you're actually making it, or when it's in the pan. So just chop. Cool. And then that is all your veg prepped for now. So I'm going to put that over there. What we're going to do to start off with is you're going to put the onions and the pepper into a preheated pan with a little bit of oil. You can kind of pick what oil you want to put in. We use olive oil or sunflower oil, but most of our recipes and most of our cooking groups we use rapeseed oil, just because it's got a little bit more omega in it. So you're just going to heat up the oil. It won't take that long on the induction. Then what you're going to do is you're going to add in your veg, your onions and your peppers. You're going to add that in. You're going to saute it, so kind of cook it until the onions are brown and soft. Then we're going to add in our spices, which I just need to go and get from the spice cupboard. The only spices we're going to use in this recipe today is paprika and cumin. And then after that, you're going to add in your meat, then your beef stock, and then you're going to just kind of leave it to simmer. So put your veg in, it's nice and colourful. Now you're going to cook that in the recipe. It says for about until it softens. So that's kind of what your guide is going to be. You can do this in a large pot. If you don't have a large pot but you have a wok, you can do it in the wok. It's really entirely up to you. I'm just going to open this up. Get quite smelly. It is kind of one that it goes everywhere, the smell. So you might want to shut some doors and windows if you don't, or open up windows and shut doors if you don't want it to go all over your house. So you're just kind of stirring the veg in. It shouldn't take that long to do our softening of our veg, especially on induction heaters or if you've got inductions at home, you'll know that it takes no time to heat up. So just the prep for this one isn't actually that much, but it has got a bit of a longer cooking time. So what we are going to do during this video is we're going to kind of cut away when we've got that, when we've prepped the salsa and we've still got some time left before we put in, or make up the tacos. We will cut away. I'll do the washing up and then I'll come back and I'll show you what we need to do after that. Just rather than us being on the video for 45 minutes and there's not much more to do. So, but I'll tell you when that comes, so don't tune out just yet. So, you'll see that it's starting to kind of change colour to being a bit more, when it softens, it kind of goes a bit more translucent or clear. Just set the induction off. If you have got induction, I would recommend just keeping on stirring it because you don't want to burn the bottom off the pan or burn your veg just yet. Anyway, okay. So after that veg is kind of softening, and the longer you leave it to soften, the more flavour you're going to put into your tacos. This is kind of the base for really any Mexican dish, or a lot of Mexican dishes like quesadilla, fajitas, even burritos, is your onion, peppers, and then you kind of add in your meats and your spices after that. So, what you're going to do now that that's kind of cooking away, is you're going to add 2 cloves of garlic. You can add more if you think that it's not enough. And then just make sure we keep the veg in the pan. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to fry that garlic off and the onions and the peppers just for a minute or so before you add in your spices. Now, I'm going to eyeball these spices. We are, in our recipe, it does say 1 teaspoon, 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, and then just paprika. Again, it's kind of, paprika's one of the staple things that we use quite a lot in our recipes at the Penny Pit, especially smoked paprika. So that's what I'm using today, is smoked paprika. It just gives it a little bit more of a like taste to it rather than our normal paprika. So now cumin, you can kind of put 1. So right for cumin. What I would do when you're putting the spices in is just put it onto a low heat. Just you don't want to burn your spices as well as your veg. And then just stir in all those spices. And again, kind of cook that in for a couple of minutes, just so the paprika and the garlic and the cumin have time to kind of infuse the veg. And just keep stirring it. Put it to a low medium heat for a minute. If you've not done so already, I would boil your kettle and then we'll start making the stock. What you're going to do after that's in is you're going to add the beef in and then brown. You're going to stir in and brown the beef. So our beef, what we say for our beef is the leaner it is, the better. So you'll see in your packs, if you've got them from us, we've used 5% beef, 5% fat, lean mince. That's kind of our go-to mince percentages. It can be quite overwhelming when you're in the shops and you see how much beef is actually available in different minces and stuff like that. So you're just going to break it up and then obviously mix in, brown the mince off, and mix in the veg into the mince. That mince obviously, that veg obviously has all the flavour because it's got all the spices plus garlic. So you just want to really make sure that it's all mixed in. Plus that your mince has got the bottom of the pan. So just keep stirring it in until your mince is completely brown. That's when we're going to add in the stock. So I'm just going to go and get our kettle and then I'll be back. Okay. So just give that another stir. It won't take long for the mince to actually cook. Mince is relatively a quick cooking meat. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make up 250 mils of beef stock. That's, you can use one, I would use one stock cube. Chuck it in. To about 250 mils of water, of hot water, boiling water. Again, just keep mixing your mince as well. I should say the next thing you're going to do is you're going to add this stock to your taco mix. If you feel like your mince has not got, although it's brown and it's not, if you want to add more paprika, you can. That's what I would normally do, is kind of, you add a little bit of paprika and then you can add more when it comes to what it looks like. It also is going to give it a bit more flavour. You'll see that the Penny Pit don't tend to put salt and pepper into our dishes. Obviously the salt and pepper chicken, or salt and chili chicken that we did in the first week is an exception to that, but we don't generally put that in because we believe that garlic and spices can actually season your meal, so you don't have to use salt or MSG. I mean, pepper is fine, but yeah, salt's kind of more of our, it's a bad word at the trust. So, we're nearly there with the mince. What you're going to do is you're just going to keep on stirring that beef stock. It doesn't really matter if it disintegrates or not because it's getting put into a hot pan anyway, and it's going to be kind of getting boils in the pan. But the more this stock cube is dissolved, the better. So we're just gonna, sorry, there's a fly that's annoying me. Right, cool. That is the taco mince cooked. It's brown. So what you're now going to add is you're going to turn down the heat slightly. So I've now turned it onto a low heat just when I'm getting the stock ready. So then what you're going to do is we're going to add 250 mils of beef stock across all the mince. So just kind of all around. You'll see that some of the stock actually just fell in there. That's fine. The extra bits of the stock cube that didn't dissolve. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to stir that stock in to all the spices. And now you'll think that's a bit watery, and it is a watery kind of mixture. But what's going to happen now is you're going to bring it back up to boil, and then after that, you're going to put a timer on for roughly 45 minutes or until it's all reduced in. So if you've got a better pan or a big pan, it'll reduce quicker. So kind of when we say reduced, it just means it's going down a little bit. It shouldn't be watery. It shouldn't be a watery mixture that kind of is the final product of the taco. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean up. Well, I'm going to leave that to simmer until it comes on to a simmer. So a simmer is obviously the small boil or small bubbles. Let it simmer. When it comes up to bring it to a boil, obviously simmers before boiling. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put a cover over it and you're going to leave it for, like I say, about 45 minutes. So that is it boiling. What we're going to do, put a cover on it, leave it to cook for about 45 minutes. What I would do is I would be constantly checking on it, stirring it, making sure it doesn't go to the bottom of the pan. And then once you think it's reduced enough, let's come back. We'll make the taco shells, the salsa, and yeah, then we'll be ready to eat. I'm going to go and do the dishes, and then we'll start on the salsa when we're waiting for this taco mixture to cook. And I'm going to kill that fly during this time as well. Right, let's see you back in a bit. Okay, so our taco mix is still on the hob, kind of cooking away nicely. You should kind of see a change to it. It kind of goes a bit more orangey ready. That's just from the paprika, and that's completely normal. You might be able to also see that the onions are a little bit less noticeable now in the mix. So what I would normally do now is kind of leave it be on the hob. You can take the cover off it and just let it kind of reduce down quickly or more quickly by doing that. Whilst that's going on, we're going to start making our salsa. To make the salsa, we're going to need 2 salad tomatoes, 1 lime, a couple of spring onions, and coriander. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the coriander. I find using scissors is so much easier than using knives to cut the coriander. All you're doing is you're kind of chopping it up into little sprigs rather than a full. Now this salsa can get kind of kept for a bit longer than what the meat could probably get kept for. And you can use it for dishes and other Mexican dishes are actually not even Mexican, but the salsa is a brilliant one to kind of have in your fridge in the house. And just keep mixing that. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to chop up your salad tomatoes. Again, this is kind of your dicing. You're dicing your tomatoes. For it to kind of all look quite uniform in your salsa. Again, the bigger you chop your tomatoes, just the chunkier you're going to have your salsa. If you don't like a chunky salsa at all, you can just blitz it afterwards. If you blitz it this afterwards, you would have a smooth salsa, which I mean, it's not everyone's preference, but it is kind of what you get in your pre-made packs for tacos and fajitas and all that kind of stuff. So again, just chop it down. Cool. And then what you're going to do after you've done that is just put it into your bowl with the coriander. There's no hot cooking when it comes to making the salsa, so kind of it's just chucking it all into the bowl and then mixing it up. Keep an eye on your mince, just because again you don't want it to kind of burn the bottom of the pan, and you also want kind of all the liquid to rise to the top so it gets reduced that slight quicker. Do that for your second tomato. It is predominantly tomato based salsa. You can get salsa verde. It's obviously using your green. But this is a really quick one, and actually kids love to help out in the kitchen. This is one thing that you could maybe do the taco and they could do the salsa, because if you're at Preston Timmer, they get cooking groups from the Penny Pit each year. And their skills, that's when we go over kind of knife skills with them. So just put that in. What you're going to do is now you're going to just put the juice of one lime or half a lime into it. Obviously, be careful of any cuts that you might have. You can kind of play this one by ear as well. If you think that you didn't get much juice out of half the lime, use the other half. That's what I would do. It's all based on your own preference. And then after that, just chop up your spring onion. Take the tops and tails off it. Just make sure to clean your spring onion before you use it. Go down the middle like we did last week. And then, again, just small chunks. And that will get you a really quick salsa. Now, salsa in the shops, you won't get this freshness, and you don't actually know what goes into that salsa. Here, you've only got fresh ingredients. Yeah, it won't stay for as long, but you can just make more. Yeah, take the tops, peel that bit off, and take the tail off, and then just in half. If it's a small spring onion, you might not be able to get it in half. And then sometimes you can do your rocking movement on your knife like what I'm doing, so you don't have to take your knife off your board. It's just a little bit safer. But again, you can kind of see what I'll do is I'll put on the website our kids safety knives, which are really handy if you have kids to use. That's all the ones that we use in the schools and any projects that we have kids on. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to mix it up with your hands. Just make sure obviously your hands are nice and clean. Mix it up. Make sure your coriander and your lime juice is all mixed into all your other ingredients. And then that is how it should look. That is your salsa. Easy as that, done. What we're going to do now is we're going to focus now back onto that mince. So just, it should reduce down that now it's not as watery. We're going to probably give that another 5 minutes, to be completely honest with you. But at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to put our food waste away from your salsa chopping. Food waste. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put your tacos onto cook your taco shells onto cook. What to do is just open these up, open the packet up. This is really the only kind of packet stuff that we do use in this recipe, especially, but it is quite a faff to make them. So we get a bit of a reprieve when it comes to that. Just be careful when you open it up. Just you don't want to bash them and then break the shells. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to space out your shells on a baking tray. So just space them out. I'm going to put 4 in. And then just one, you can probably hear the difference in the pan now. Before it, you could hear the bubbling of the liquid. Now you can kind of hear more of a frying, and I'll just put my mic to it so you can hear what the difference is. So you can hear that it's more of a frying motion. So what we're going to do now, I'll just put my mic back on, is you're going to take this off the heat. I'm going to kind of show you, it's going to make a noise. That is what the taco mix looks like. It's now not as liquidy and it's kind of all ready to go. Put a cover on that just now because you're going to need to put your shells in the oven. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your shells in the oven at 180 degrees or gas mark 4. And you're going to just put them in for about 3 to 4 minutes. It's not long at all. Now you can choose what you put your tacos on your tacos. I like to put kind of the mince and then some lettuce, make like a taco that way. But you can generally put anything you want. I don't like cheese, so I don't put cheese in it, but a lot of people do. They also can put sour cream on it, like what you would do with Vitamix. It's really up to you. It's up to your own kind of creative ability, really. But when we make it, you're going to want some of your salsa. You're going to want, obviously, your mince. And then you can kind of see what else you kind of want to add to it. Like I say, on our website, we have all our cook-along recipes are on that, along with our videos. And all previous cook-along live recipes are there too, from our January block. So the masala meatballs, your orange chicken, all that is on that website. Which means you can go back, review, recap, and actually cook again. We would love to hear all your feedback about our cook-along live sessions. We obviously have some packs available in our community pantry week on week, but also we know that people come in and kind of cook along and buy the products themselves. So, like I say, we'd love to see and hear your feedback about how you think the cooking along sessions go and kind of what recipes you would like to cook in the next block. This has been kind of more of a fakeaway kind of edition for the 4 weeks, because we've obviously made our salt and chili chicken, our spaghetti carbonara last week with our chicken pad thai, and then obviously this week with our beef tacos. So the next block is completely open to kind of suggestions about what you would like to cook or would like to learn to cook. But what we're going to do now is we're just going to kind of hang on for 1 more minute with our taco shells, and then we will be ready to serve up. Along with our summer program that we have running for our children and young people, with our lunch clubs and our sports clubs, our pantry is always open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 till 1. And on a Thursday night as well, it's open 5 till 7. Again, on a Saturday, it's open 11 till 1 as well. If you need that support, there's usually batch cooked meals, fresh ingredients, tins, etc. And that's all made possible through our National Lottery funding. And on a Saturday as well, you can get some rolls, hot rolls as well. We have an offer. We would like to say a massive thank you to, again, Cash for Kids for their support over the year with our funding for this project and for our lunch club programs and all the work we do with our children and young people to reduce inequalities, especially our Tackle and Holiday programme, and so to our National Lottery funding that supports a wide range of things that happen at the Trust, including our volunteering, our pantry, our Fundamental Foods project, which is our nutrition project, and our family support service. We couldn't do it without you. What we would also say is if you would like to donate or fundraise for the Pennyfoot Trust, we would love you to consider that. All the details are on our website, on our social media pages, so just kind of see what you would like to do. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. It's again on our website or on our Facebook and YouTube page as well. We've got our contact details there. Now, our tacos are ready. There is someone at my front door, but I'm just going to ignore them because food is more important. So what we're going to do is we're going to get those taco shells out. Just be careful because our taco shells can get quite hot, especially when they've been in the oven, obviously. So just be careful. I should probably put another thing on this. I don't want it to burn my dining table. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so how we're going to make this up. Is we're going to take a shell. Yeah, it's quite hot. We're going to first add our mince. I mean, there's no actual real instructions on how to make a taco, but we would always say add your mince fin first. This does normally break on me. So you've got your mince on. You don't need that much mince actually on your taco. I like to put a bit of lettuce on just to give it an additional crunch. And then you could add your salsa in. I'm not going to add the salsa in just yet, just because I don't really want to eat salsa today. But as I say, you can, and then just eat it. It is a bit of a messy one. I'm not going to do it on camera because it is super messy. But we will see you back in September. That is, I should say, our taco. Right, it looks really good and really tasty. What I would say is we will see you back in September. Like I said, if you have any questions, any suggestions, or would like to get involved in the Pennyfoot Trust and the work that we do, feel free to contact me, contact the Trust, and check out our website. That's all the information there. Thank you, and I'll see you in September.